And at 1:57, 4 points go on the board by the Boilermakers. And so these two teams will continue what is already a very exciting battle so far. And this match here, both head coaches said could be a really good one. This at 165 is between Stoney Buell, who we've already seen once today, and a wrestler for Army who is also ranked and the second highest ranked wrestler on this roster. Gunnar Filipowicz is currently the 13th ranked wrestler at 165. Meanwhile, for Stoney Buell, he's the 22nd ranked wrestler at 165. So in terms of cumulative rankings, these two are amongst the highest in terms of any matchup we're going to see here today. And as they grapple here just 45 seconds into this first period, their athleticism on display. And I think this is going to be about that a couple of the other wrestlers at this weight class are going to be keeping an eye on, because these two are going to go pretty far, I think, in their respective conference and national tournaments.
Absolutely, Vinny. And a great job there for a second to break out of that as he's trying to get the turn. Filipowicz is looking. He's trying to get him. You saw right there, Buell pulled the leg back. And with that, he's able to reset. He's got his ankle, but he's grabbing Filipowicz's ankle. And now he's up. He's going to pull him in with the single leg. If he can just get him down right there.
Yeah, double leg takedown there for Filipowicz. And right now, he takes an early advantage halfway through the first period as they will both escape the realm of battle. As you see here, he just opens that door very quickly. That yank and a quick dive at that left leg allows him to snag that takedown and put himself in an early advantage here for the Black Knights.
Well, great job grabbing that ankle, because if you're Buell, if you can just pull that ankle away and be able to stand up, and maybe you're taking a knee where you're kneeling with one, he's able to pull him back in and keep him down. And now you can start to rack up some early riding time, and you have about a minute on top if you can keep him down for the full minute.
Great replay there by our crew, too, who have really been doing that all day. But glad we got a chance to quickly look at how Filipowicz used his strength, and something you've referenced already today, on that boundary line where you're running with less room, of course, and he just pulls him right back into his grasp and then has the time not only on the pull but to use his legs to launch forward and then use the reach to get around both legs and then complete the maneuver by grasping both of them without letting Buell escape, which he's another one that's very good at doing that. And they go back to the floor here towards the top of the mat as Filipowicz back on top in a position of advantage here.
I don't like Filipowicz's hand right there in his waist. I think it's a good start, but if he wants to go for a turn, he's got to move that hand up. Tie up his legs with your legs, that's fine, but you got to start moving that hand up, or at least flatten himself down first before he can do anything. And he's got to watch where he is. He's at the thinnest part of the UB mat, and he's trying to pull him back to the center. The way he's pulling him, look at his legs, look at the direction. He's trying to pull him back to the middle. Now he gets a chance to, but you saw with his legs, he just needs to keep bringing him in, because Bull's going to do as much as he can to keep pushing himself out, bring him to the edge of the mat, forcing a reset for him.
He almost did it there, but just barely stepping over the outside of the circle. And so they'll go back at it here right in the middle with Filipowicz in the up position and Stoney Buell in the down spot. Filipowicz back on top here as he racks up the riding time, and they go to the floor with Filipowicz having that right arm underneath him. Buell still trying to find his way free with time winding down here in this first period, and with just over 90 seconds of riding time earned by Filipowicz, the first 3-minute segment between these two ends, and indeed a well-fought segment it was.
Absolutely, Filipowicz right now with that fourth point, a minute 30 of riding time. Vinny, just a quick note, when these two teams faced last year after 5 matches, it was tied 10-10 with Army picking up a pin and a major decision, and Purdue picking up 2 decisions and 1 major decision themselves. So 12-9, 10-10, 2 similar stories here between the Boilermakers and Black Knights.
On the far side of the shot there, with the camera placed at the other corner of Alumni Arena, just emerging from the top of the screen real quick is St. Joe's Collegiate Institute head wrestling coach Pete Kennedy. Shout out to the fellow Marauder here in attendance today on what is a pretty eventful day here in Western New York. The triple header here at Alumni Arena, of course, headlining the start of the day, and then a heavyweight battle, quote unquote, if you will, of its own in the National Football League between the Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs at 4:25 p.m. Plenty of time before that happens. We don't even really need to bring it up again, but just to sort of set the stage for a busyness in the area here of Western New York here today. And how about the weekend for the combat sports too, right? You get
John Jones.
You get John Jones last night, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson on Friday night. Thursday night, wrestled with the idea of getting a McFlurry or going to Dairy Queen. And,
I hope you picked Dairy Queen.
I did not.
From a former heavyweight myself, if we can zoom in on this, from a former heavyweight myself, Dairy Queen, just saying.
Unfortunately, closed for the wintertime. So with that said, while the fight and I'll go as far as to say this, the fight and the broadcast weren't nearly as good as they are here today on ESPN Plus and at Alumni Arena. A pretty good one last night with John Jones over the midnight hour, which I got a chance to watch a little bit while looking at some notes. And again, just a common theme that came up when studying these two teams was how even this 165 match could be. And then another point to that is if one of these two wrestlers is really able to set themselves apart, that could put them in a spot to really jump the national rankings. With still a full period and now 5 seconds left to go, Filipowicz seems like he's going to be in a prime spot to do that, as the sophomore and number 13 Gunnar Filipowicz has a 10-1 advantage after 5 minutes.
I want to point something down about Filipowicz. We're going to get a replay here. Look at this takedown. Breaks him around the leg. Now he's parallel. Look at this. He's going to drive, keep his foot down. He's going to keep his chin in his back, use it as a pivot point, and pull himself around when he does that. So he's able to do that. He did that twice last period to get 2-3 quick point scores. As you and I are breaking down the heavyweight bout between a McFlurry or Dairy Queen, as he'll get the quick escape. And we saw it last match. We're going to see it again. Filipowicz knows he's got his shot down. He knows he has his numbers. He's going to try for that ankle, keep his chin to pull him around. He wants to rack up these points, get a major decision to put Army ahead by 8 with just 4 matches to go after this.
At the risk of upsetting a potential future employer, that replay probably would have buffered if this was on Netflix. But on ESPN Plus, you got everything working the right way, as now a 10-2 match here in the third period at 165 sees Stoney Buell try to work his way back in. He's got a grasp around the torso right now of Filipowicz, who's trying to work his way free. And Buell, with just about 80 seconds left to go here in regulation, looking to get as many points as possible. And he's going to want to start by getting a takedown here as Filipowicz tries to work his way out of it.
Now, Vinny, remember earlier when I said we practice bridging at the start of practice when you're wrestling? It is for moments like that as he gets a 3-point takedown. He bridges his neck. He's got the neck strength. What can he do then? Spring forward. And you saw that he springs forward, gets him down, and now he's got the 3-point takedowns, or 2 wrestlers go out of bounds. But that's why you practice neck bridges before you practice. Build up your neck strength. Build up that ability to spring and pop up. The point is that you bridge and you pop forward, and he does that right there.
13-2 now the score, less than a minute to go. And the Army bench imploring Filipowicz to push off of his opponent and give himself a little more space to re-attack. They go for the legs. Buell able to escape it. And so he gets back within 10 here as they will grapple once more from a standing position.
And there you go, Vinny.
Now right back at the legs.
He's left that ankle exposed all day for Buell, and Filipowicz has benefited. If he can just dig his chin and drive him a bit to the right, he'll get it. But he's left that left ankle exposed all afternoon against Filipowicz, and he's profiting as he's on the verge of another 3-point takedown.
Yeah, Buell sliding around the mat right now, trying not to let Filipowicz flip him over, but now a 3-point advantage is given, and now an escape right back for Buell. 4 points, split 3-1 here between the teams, and now it's a 14-point advantage as time about to expire. And as pushed out of bounds, Filipowicz and Buell will retake the center, and based on riding time here, it looks like, based on how this quick scramble goes, we're going to get this match to end, and a riding time point is going to give Filipowicz a win by 15, or, well, 14. It's 17 to minus 14, 15.
That's
It's not.
13.
It's 13.
That's 13.
So as a result, it's a win by 8+, which is a major decision. And I also am a communications major, like you said. I didn't really take much math, and if I did, I was probably thinking about talking. And as a result, 13-point win still extends Army's